Kim, thanks so much for being here today. We're talking about cannabis. It's legal here in Canada now, and we're really just learning more about cannabis and bringing it out of, as you want to call it, like the dirty basement of a party, to the mainstream, right? And I like that. I like that we are more open to this. Now, it's one of those tricky things where it's become legal and you're smelling it more. I don't know if you notice that now, but everywhere I go, I'm smelling it.
Yeah, I do.
And the kids might be outside playing, and I have at least 2 to 3 neighbors who I'm sure are smoking it in the backyard that we've never smelled before. Now we're smelling it. So you're having that conversation. How have you had the conversation with your kids about your own personal use, or do you plan on it, or how even will you have that conversation?
I will have a conversation with my kids soon about it. I've talked to them in general terms. My husband and I both talked about it in general terms. They know what was happening. Again, I think from my kids' perspective, they are very anti-smoking. So it's very important to let them know I'm not really smoking it.
Right. Yes.
I wouldn't encourage them to. Talking about and educating them is not an endorsement for them to use it either.
Right. So I think that's the tricky line that I find a lot of people are doing now.
It's the same way we talk about alcohol. We're a very conservative society when it comes to drinking and now cannabis.
Yeah.
I would treat it the same way as drinking. Like you never operate a vehicle when you're drinking or when you're using cannabis. And you just take it easy. You maintain control.
Yeah.
If you need to use it, fine. If you want to use it, fine. But
everything's within reason.
And responsible use. And that's really where we'll go. I don't want them to ever think that it's a bad thing, that it's evil.
Yes. That's what I like, right?
That it is available. But we know also, well, there's speculation that children using it, especially in their formative teenage years, it could affect their brain development. So again, it's something that will be pointed out to them time and time again,
right,
that it's better to wait,
yes,
long term.
Give your brain time to mature and everything else.
And my kids, they don't have any kind of special needs right now or anything like that. So I'm not concerned about using it for them in any kind of therapeutic way. So, it's something that we can push off with them for a long time.
And it's definitely, CBD oil is something that I have looked at for years for my son because, as you know, and as a lot of viewers know, I have a son who has severe ADHD, severe anxiety, and some depression as well. And CBD oil is something that a lot of parents use, but I have been frightened, to be quite honest with you, to use, so, but I kind of like that. I've never thought about using it for myself, and now I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll wait on him, but I'll check it out for myself.
But so the CBD you see all over the place that says CBD, and you don't have to go into an OCS store, or you don't have to go to a cannabis store, or order it from the OCS, excuse me. It's going to be that industrial hemp derived CBD,
which is not really what you want. You want to have something
you may have good effects. You just have to. I would do a little more research on that type. So a lot of people are saying it's really good. It depends on how it's extracted and what the process is used. You keep in mind, if it's industrial hemp, you don't know what they're putting on it. At least we know with this cannabis, there's licensed producers here that are making it, and there's pretty high standards from Health Canada as to what they can use
for it. Yeah. So I guess we can take away from this that research to see if it's right for you. Just to ask questions.
And understand that there are risks. There's risks associated with everything.
Right?
Definitely.
That's how life is.
Yeah.
So if someone was going to start like myself and say, okay, maybe I'll give CBD oil or cannabis a try.
Yeah.
Just go online, go down to some of the cannabis stores.
Go down to a cannabis store, or go on the OCS website and check it out.
And start from there. Kim, you've been so moved by this movement and by this new journey that you actually are going to be sharing your experiences a little bit more.
Yeah. So I am in the process of starting a podcast. It's going to be called Weed Over Wine.
Weed Over Wine,
Weed Over Wine, and it's. Again, I want to talk, hopefully a weekly podcast. It might be every other week. I'm not sure yet. But I have 52 ideas in the can already about what to talk about. But I can go into more detail. I'd like to interview people that have more knowledge on it than just my informal research over the last 18 months.
I like it. Weed over wine.
Weed over wine.
So,
moms, you don't have to have a glass of wine. Maybe you can go...
Or a bottle.
Or a bottle of wine. Please don't have a bottle of wine. I mean, how do you feel after you've had a couple glasses of wine the next morning?
Ready for bed.
The next morning,
you just want to sleep
dehydrated. You might have a headache. I don't get that at all. You don't have that,
which
cannabis.
Is interesting, right? That's another benefit, I guess you can say. You know, that you don't have that the terrible hangover the next day.
Yeah, no hangover, no calories.
I love it.
No calories.
That's the even better part.
I can't account for the munchies you might get.
But again, the calories don't come in necessarily from the weed. They come in from the stuff that you're eating afterwards.
Strains with higher amounts of CBD, you tend to have less of the munchies. Also.
Okay, that's good to know as well.
And it helps.
You're just a wealth of information. My friend.
I'm getting there.
I love it. All right, before I let you go, you have to give me your most epic mommy meltdown moment before you started to calm the calamity with cannabis.
Yeah, it was I am not enough moment that sometimes we all have as moms and women. I took my younger son to piano lesson, and he hadn't really practiced much that week, and he was going up to play, and he didn't really know his songs that he needed to learn, and he hadn't been practicing his old songs. So every time he went up to the piano, he didn't know that particular song. So the piano teacher finally said, "You know what? I can't spend any more time reteaching you how to play this." Yeah. And she made him sit back down. And so I took this to heart. I took this as a personal slam, and I was very stressed out about it. Like, I'm not on top of these kids. Why am I not? I should be there making them practice every night, and they practice, but I'm not going through the book and
you're not there with the wooden ruler.
Check this one off, check this one. They need to learn their own. They need to learn this themselves as well. But anyways, I went home that night just really upset. My son was upset. He didn't understand why I was upset, and I pretty much told my husband, "You know what? I'm going to bed. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm a horrible person.
Yeah.
And you deal with them, put them to bed." And I just went to bed that night.
That was it. So. You were like, forget it. I'm checking out.
Yeah, it's not the worst mommy meltdown I've had, but it's the most recent. And the next day, and I did medicate that night. So
it makes you feel bad, right? When you have those moments, which, it doesn't have to be always a complete and utter meltdown. It just can be
And if we're talking about 5 piano songs that he doesn't know perfectly. And in the big scheme of things,
it's nothing, right?
Yeah.
It's not when afterwards when you medicate a little bit, you're like, that was nothing.
Exactly. And it totally changes your perspective.
Absolutely.
Honestly.
Kim, thanks so much, my friend, for stopping in and talking about this and normalizing cannabis use a little bit.
Let's take the stigma out of the use, and maybe more women and moms will be able to benefit from it.
Let's reduce those mommy meltdowns.
Exactly.
Maybe, try a new way to reduce those mommy meltdowns.
Exactly.
Thanks so much for joining us once again. I'm Steph with Kim today, Mommy Meltdown on Giant TV.
Thanks, Steph.